Welcome to Roofing Road Trips, the podcast that takes you on a thrilling journey across the world of roofing. From fascinating interviews with roofing experts to on-the-road adventures, we'll uncover the stories, innovations, and challenges that shape the rooftops over our heads. So fasten your seatbelts and join us as we embark on this exciting roofing road trip.
Hello and welcome to this episode of Roofing Road Trips. My name's Karen Edwards and I'm your host today. And I'm really excited to welcome the team from Polyglass. And we are going to be talking all about innovating and why it's a must do for every manufacturer, and Polyglass is committed to always innovating. So we're going to learn about that and then talk about some of the innovations that they've had over the years and why it's important. So I'd like to welcome Marco and Elliott. Welcome, guys. And I'd like to ask you to please introduce yourselves. Marco, how about you go first?
Karen, thanks for having us, first of all. We really appreciate this opportunity. I'm Marco Sieber, and I'm the North America Product Manager for Roofing Membranes.
Excellent. Elliott?
Thanks for having us, Karen. My name is Elliott Wood, and I am the Low Slope Roofing Membrane Product Manager for Polyglass.
Okay, so those were really brief introductions. I want to know a little bit more about you. Okay, Marco, give me some of your background because you're not new to the industry, and I'm sure Elliott, you aren't either. So just give me a little bit of history and how you ended up to be part of the Polyglass team.
Yeah, I've been in the roofing industry basically my whole career since I got out of college. So I've worked for several manufacturers in the roofing industry. With Polyglass, I've been a product manager for about 7 years, and I manage basically the entire product portfolio that has to do with roofing membranes, and that's the largest part of our business is that product category. So basically manage the whole product life cycle and new product development of the roofing membranes.
Not too much on your shoulders, right? Elliott, how about you? Tell us a little bit about your background.
I'm slowly following Marco's footsteps. I haven't been in the industry as long as him, but I pretty much started a year or two out of college. Didn't really know exactly what I wanted to do. I fell into roofing. I've worked for a couple different manufacturers now, between product management and sales. And now I've moved down to Florida to be a product manager for Polyglass. So I've been with Polyglass for about a year and a half now. And I focus solely on the low slope membranes, including existing upkeep of current SKUs while developing new products for the field, innovating. So that's my history, and I look forward to this conversation.
Excellent. Well, let's talk a little bit about, what does innovation mean to you and to Polyglass, and why is it so important?
That's a great question. I mean, I think if a company doesn't innovate, you run the real risk of getting left behind, right? It's a very competitive environment. There are a lot of examples of companies like Polyglass that started out, small, family owned, and just kind of stayed small and practically same product line and became either kind of irrelevant or unfortunately some went out of business, etc. But Polyglass excelled in part because innovation is at the core of Polyglass's success. And Polyglass has developed technologies like Cure technology used in our reflective membranes, our ADESO dual compound self-adhered technology I think we're going to talk about today as well. Mm-hmm. And more recently, Burn Shield technology, which is a fire-resistant construction and the products. These have been some of the main drivers for growth at Polyglass over the years.
And, Polyglass has been a partner with Roofers Coffee Shop for a long time now. And I see lots of press releases coming through about new products and about new innovations and about new technologies. So that's really cool that you guys are kind of on the forefront, right? You're looking for the new trends and the new technologies that are out there. So what are some things that you're seeing that are going to shape the future of roofing materials?
I mean, there are quite a few things going on right now, right? In terms of trends and roofing, depending on who you ask. You've got roofing contractors that need certain types of products. You've got specifiers like consultants and architects and building owners. They all have their own needs, and there are certain trends that apply to those categories of customers, and we consider them all our customers. But on the roofing contractor side in particular, the lack of qualified labor in the roofing industry has really led roofing contractors to seek out products that are safer, right, for their workers and that increase productivity. So that's why our self-adhered membranes continue to have success in this environment. It's already been about 10 years or more of double-digit growth of these types of products, not just our self-adhered, but also our competitors that manufacture self-adhered products, because the learning curve is lower. It's safer. A lot of roofers, they don't want to deal with, roofing torches or flames or hot asphalt, these types of things. And then the other category of trends that we really have tried to innovate around is, changing weather, whether you want to call it global warming or climate change or whatever. I think we all see that there are a lot of kind of crazy things going on as far as like extreme heat, wildfires, hail, hurricane events. So Polyglass has developed several products over the past few years that resist these forces, that help folks in different parts of the country keep up with building code changes that are trying to, protect against all these, increasing demands from weather events. And so a few products that we launched just recently, Polyanchor HV, ModiFleece, and Polystick XFR address those needs.
Yeah, I just saw, well, first of all, we have been having crazy weather events, right? It's more severe. It seems it's more frequent. And like you said, call it what you want. It is happening. And I just saw an article that hurricane season, which usually starts June 1st, we may be seeing some activity in May. Things seem to be getting sooner. And you guys are in Florida, so I'm sure, you're experienced with this, but you also have to ensure when you say that meet the requirements. I know we didn't talk about this beforehand, but what kind of testing and stuff goes into that when you are innovating? How does that affect? You roll a product out, I guess, and it doesn't just stay that same product. You're always looking at improving it, and how do you know that it is going to be able to meet those demands?
Yeah, that's really a huge part, especially when we're trying to tailor products to these needs, right? We have to do extensive testing a lot of times. Sometimes this is over half of the launch process or product development process is just related to codes, because it takes a lot of time. Sometimes it's trial and error. Sometimes we're subject to just kind of the how long Florida Building Code or Miami-Dade or whatever it may be take to review our submittals. But this is all done through, usually we'll do some testing ourselves on the side to see if we have a chance of passing. And then we will have to go through a third-party lab that the building code agencies, basically accept. That could be, third-party labs in Florida or like UL, where we actually have to send product, set up test decks, and see if it passes fire or wind or whatever it may be.
So, I mean, this is kind of a continuous innovation, right? We say the product that you rolled out 25 years ago, well, the codes may have changed since then, right? So that original product might not meet that. So how do you stay on top of that? That just seems like do you have a team of folks behind the scenes that are just watching building codes and watching what's happening? Maybe you do.
We might have to do that. That's a good idea.
It's you, right?
Yeah, it's us. It is a team of people that have other responsibilities, but everybody from sales, we do have a codes department, so they definitely are responsible for that, and product management as well, of kind of bringing things to our attention, like, hey, let's stay ahead of this, right? Instead of catching up to code, stay ahead of it. So that's always important for us. But, continuous innovation is an interesting concept because over the years, 20 plus years in the US, as a manufacturer in the United States, we've accumulated quite a few products. We've discontinued some, but we accumulate more than we discontinue. So what do you do with those products that have become, mature, let's say? And we've found ways of doing that. We have existing products that we've added features to, such as fast lap technology, which is granule free end lap, and seal lap ultra, which is a very innovative side lap technology that provides immediate watertight seams. We all incorporated that into kind of existing products that we've had for many years.
Okay, so you're just kind of adding bells and whistles, right? That make it a little more appealing. I'm trying to think of a real world analogy, and it's kind of like you got your trusty model of car, and it's a great car, but then 15 years later, there's some new technologies like backup cameras, right? So you're taking the relied, trusted, and true, and you're just putting that new feature or benefit. I'm
Right.
curious how you how do you get are you talking to contractors? Are they saying, oh my gosh, if only you didn't have granules on this end lap, it would make my life so much easier? Like, how are you getting this information of what you ought to look at?
All types of ways, one of the best ways that we get feedback or kind of sparks an idea is by actually getting on a roof, seeing a contractor install just one of our traditional products, and just the feedback that we get on the job site as far as maybe some of the challenges that they have. Maybe they even come up with an idea for us, but sometimes it's just their comments that'll spark an idea for us to innovate, to improve on an existing product, or come up with a new product that will address that need that we hear on the job site. We do have internal brainstorming sessions. We have once or twice a year where we bring in our folks from different parts of the country and hear them out and kind of bounce off, hey, maybe we can develop this product or that product that'll address needs that we've heard that contractors need in California, or building owners are looking for and elsewhere in the country. And we do get some of our elite contractors together once a year, and we have various presentations where they're invited to give their feedback on some ideas, kind of bounce off concepts off of them to see if what we have in mind might actually, serve a purpose, right? Because we always want to try to get buy-in from the contractor, not just kind of push an idea on the market. It should people should want it, right?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. You don't, well, sometimes you tell people what they might want, and then
Sometimes,
they,
yeah.
yeah.
I think
Yeah. But
Apple did that a few times, right, with the iPhone.
oh,
So,
sure.
yeah.
Yeah, we've seen it. We've seen it. But interesting. So, we've talked about the evolution of products over the years, and you mentioned earlier the Polyglass ADESO, the self-adhered technologies or technology. You guys were kind of an early pioneer in that concept of self-adhered, and I'm sure that in the beginning it was probably met with a lot of skepticism. And that what I'm going to stick on a roof, right? What are you talking about? How's that going to not blow away when the
Right.
first storm that comes through? So I just would like to hear your take on how the what was that climate like when you introduced the product, and how has it evolved over the past 2 decades? And it's really played a big role, I think, in seeing others adopt similar solutions.
Right. Well, I wasn't around with Polyglass back then, right? But I do know kind of the history behind kind of how it started, what the challenges were, that there was some resistance, like we were saying, to a new technology that sounded like too good to be true, right? Because traditionally products had been installed with hot asphalt or roofing torches, or cold apply had just kind of started back then. So self-adhere was definitely a new concept that had been only used maybe in Europe and had been used in some steep slope applications. And so one of the ways that we addressed that was with ADESO technology. So ADESO is a patented technology that that is kind of an enhancement to the concept of the self-adhered membrane. What it does, because traditionally before that, any self-adhered membranes that had been developed to that point were limited to a single compound. So the same compound was used throughout the membrane. So whether it's your top surface, which is your weathering surface, or your bottom surface, which has to have the self-adhesive properties, they were all made with the same compound. So they didn't necessarily perform very well in either category, in adhesion or in weathering, because they had to function for both. So what ADESO technology did was we were able to develop technology where you had a dual compound, a distinct compound on the top, which is the weathering surface, and another distinct compound on the bottom, which is your adhesive surface. So we were able to really develop key compounds that work very well in terms of UV resistance and, puncture and longevity. And then the bottom is really dedicated to, waterproofing and adhesion specifically. And that really led to, over the years, where some people were reluctant because some of the early self-adhered products had some leaks in the seams and had some performance issues. So we came out with ADESO, and over time, a lot of specifiers have become more and more confident in using the product because they know that it will perform well both and for longevity and for adhesion.
So how have you continued to improve the technology over the years? I always say you found out, the ways to not make one compound do two different jobs.
Mm-hmm.
But what else? How often do you look at that, and what are you doing to try to keep improving on it?
Well, obviously our lab is continuing to innovate in terms of like the compounds that are used, so that we stay ahead of the game. Adheso technology hasn't changed that much over the past 20 years. Why? We don't want to really change a good thing. So like I said, what we've done a lot is in terms of enhancements and adding features to the products that have the self-adhered technology in it. And I explained a little bit about the fast lap technology. We incorporate that into a lot of our self-adhered products. So not only is it easy to install just the membrane itself on the substrate, it's easy to overlap the product and do have secure and quick watertight seams, especially on the side laps. With Seal Lap Ultra, basically we're using the same self-adhered compound that we use on the bottom of the sheet, and we've been able to, in this patented technology, where we can take that compound and use it on the side laps. So we're marrying basically self-adhered to self-adhered, so it provides an immediate watertight seam, so that even if it rains right after installation, it's still watertight. So all these little tweaks that we've done and additional features, I think, is the way that we've innovated and kind of continued to improve, ADESO products.
Yeah, and like you said, you said over time, it has proven itself, and so it is becoming more trusted and widely accepted by those building owners and specifiers and folks who are like, oh yeah, that really does work. So it's really cool to see it come around from, kind of being skeptical and not trusting it to say, wow, this really does a good job. Now, you mentioned another new product, and remember Elliott, he's still here. And we're gonna say, come on Elliott, join the conversation, because I want to know what ModiFleece is. Tell me about that, and what did that look like from, hey, here's an idea, we're going to do this, to actually bringing it to market?
Yeah, there's a lot to it. So ModiFleece is the industry's first SBS modified fleece back base sheet. So similar to single plies, which have been around for a while, this one fits into our product category of modified bitumen, with a fleece on the bottom underside that would be foam adhered with the Polyglass LRF CR foam. So a brand new category, brand new product for Polyglass, and really for the whole industry. To bring this product from an initial idea to commercialization it's a huge, long process. So at Polyglass, all qualified ideas, which there's lots, as you heard from Marco, how many ideas and off the walls things we get. We put through a project tracker called StageGate. So StageGate is a formal process we follow from initial idea. We build a business case, a fitness for use, and commercialization. So there's lots of steps along the way, and ModiFleece was really no different. So it initially started as an idea for a fleece back ModBit membrane that would go direct to lightweight insulated concrete. As the current industry solutions, see, we're looking at problems. They're not great because of high costs, long install times, and okay to poor performance. So in addition, we had to make a product that would be compatible with Polyglass, our self-adhered and torch membrane. So it had to fit within our line. So from there, we built a business case for the product. We have to know, for example, where we can sell the product, how much money we can make on it, and also survey the competitive landscape. Where are competitors going? Are they going in this direction? Do we follow them? Or do we go our own direction? So once the business case checks out, that's when we put pen to paper. That's where all the details get sorted through. So we'll design the whole product on paper. This will be features and benefits, physical properties it has to meet, codes that we talked about that are getting more strict every year, it seems like. From there, we can make trial products of the membrane, which in this case was ModiFleece. So we did take a long time doing contractor field trials with this product. Contractors are our customers. They are the ones buying it. They're the ones that have to put it down, and it's very valuable feedback from them. So we didn't fast track this step. So we make small tweaks to the initial product based on the feedback we get, and then we launched the product. So that was ModiFleece in a nutshell, and it was really cool because along the way we had new ideas such as alternate systems, configurations, complementary products, and new application method. All kinds of things that people think of as they're starting to see and touch the product that this product can do. So it was a great project. Polyglass is a very nimble company, so we were able to accommodate and manage the development of these products with all these new ideas coming in. So it was great to get creative with this product. So we're proud to have the industry's first fleece back membrane, and also it's important to note that this system and product is in its infancy in this life cycle stage. So more things to come here in the future.
Yeah, that's really cool. So right now it's only goes over lightweight concrete as the substrate, or are you working toward maybe some other substrates?
Lots of substrates. So direct to lightweight as a new application or a recover application over an existing modified APP, SBS, smooth BUR, and other approved substrates. But those are the main ones right now, which is a lot of aging roofs out there that this product is perfect to go over.
What kind of feedback are you getting from those who have tested it, tried it? What are they saying?
We've gotten all great feedback. Contractors, most of them are pretty used to doing the single ply fleece back. So it's a pretty much a sidestep application. It's very similar, a few different nuances, but the speed and instant watertight with the seal lap, it's very, very positive. We get great uplift results, as well as our other products that go on top of it are self-adhered and torch membranes. Contractors already know how to use that. So it's a small learning curve, but once they get the hang of it, we've gotten some awesome feedback, and we're excited to grow this product line for us.
That's very, very cool. So if I'm a contractor and I want to know more about how I can sell or incorporate these innovative products into my business, how do I go about that?
Sure. So Polyglass US has all product and technical information. Everything you need to know will be there. In addition, there is a rep finder section where you can find your local sales rep.
Okay. And every time I talk to Polyglass, I always like to mention Poly School because I think it's just the best name ever. And so for contractors who, want to get started, you do offer training on all of these products, right?
Correct. We have a Poly School, numerous different locations. Our main one is in Winter Haven. But we do have other locations throughout the U.S. as well as we will go to your location. So we do have PolySchool specific training on products or general overview of the Polyglass products. They can be pretty custom tailored to what you're looking to get out of it. It's a great program.
Excellent. So you heard it. Polyglass.us has all the information you need. Find your rep, learn about these products. Polyglass also has a directory on rooferscoffeeshop.com. So you can also visit that, and contact information will be there as well. Gentlemen, I want to thank you for being here today. This was a really great conversation. I enjoy learning about Polyglass and how you guys are innovating and staying out in the forefront of new products and technologies. It's really cool.
Appreciate
Thank
it,
you.
Karen.
Thanks, Karen.
Thanks for the opportunity.
Yeah, and thank you everybody for listening. I want to invite you to follow us on social media, and please listen to the rest of the Roofing Road Trip episodes on your favorite podcast streaming platform, and we will see you next time.
If you've enjoyed the ride, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and join us on every roofing adventure. Make sure to visit rooferscoffeeshop.com to learn more. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you on the next Roofing Road Trip.